Good morning, everybody. So this week, we are not allowed to talk about cold calling. Okay? No cold calling. Cold calling is out. Because everybody thinks that's what prospecting is. Prospecting is going into a room, closing the door, dialing for hours. It can be, but it doesn't have to be prospecting. Okay? Prospecting's so much more. It's just, cold calling's just one of the methods of prospecting. Okay? So we've talked before, there's 6 ways of making contact with human beings. So what are the 6 ways? Face to face, phone calls, phone,
mail,
U.S. mail, okay, social media, okay, email, and what's the 6th?
direct message.
Yeah, what can I put that in up here? Text. If somebody can come up with the 7th, then there will be 7 ways of making...
Pigeon carriers.
I know, nobody can read my writing. Don't even try. I can't even read it. If anybody can come... Pigeon carrier, okay. There's always one person in the room, right? And one. Skywriting, okay, great. So for right now, we're going to stick with the non-pigeon carrying, non-skywriting method of communication, okay? Gosh. My old broker used to keep a bottle of bourbon in his desk drawer, and he's a raging alcoholic now, and I fully get it. I fully get it. Okay. So we are not allowed, for the purposes of today, to talk about number 2. Other than phone, these are ways, methods of contacting people, right? But when we talk about prospecting, or what we're now calling marketing, we're just talking about how to deliver a message to people, right? Consistently, so that we become the top of mind, credible expert when it comes to real estate, right? So somebody needs to buy or sell a home. They just think of Shelley. Why? I know she's not an objectionable person. She has some level of credibility with me. I consider Shelley to be my real estate agent. Isn't that what we're going for? So then, how do you do that? Without cold calling people, how do you do that?
Video.
Okay, so what I've done is I've listed 5 of the most common, not the only, but the most common types of target audiences. Okay, for sale by owners, expired listings, geographic farm, sphere of influence, and networking. There's a lot more, but those are just the big 5. Okay? We can't cold call them. We can't use the phone. Okay, so let's just start at I put for sale by owners and expired listings 1 and 2, not because I think they're the 2 best. They may be, they may not be, depends on who you are and what you want to do. But because they're the most interesting, if we say this, how do we make contact with for sale by owners without using the phone? I'm sorry?
Knock on their door.
Knock on their door. Okay. That's one way. So that would be called FaceTime. Okay. What else could you do?
Mail.
You could. Okay. I'm going to put it down here at the end. Why?
Less important.
Okay, so let's be real. If you think you're dropping something in the mail to for sale by owners and then you're going to sit back and wait for them to call you, you're batshit crazy, okay? That's probably not going to be real effective. How about knocking on their door? On the spectrum of most effective to least effective, nothing ever beats FaceTime. You being live face-to-face with the prospect. Nothing beats that. But what's the problem? Andy, what'd you say?
The problem?
With FaceTime.
Well, it's hard to do.
It's hard to do.
Yeah.
It takes a tremendous amount of time, right? It's hard. Has anybody ever noticed that? Like, it's hard to get around in the city. Everything takes a long time. Right. Okay. What else could you do for sale by owners?
Text.
You could. You could text. What else could you do?
Video.
Okay. How would you deliver it to them?
There's multiple ways, but you could Facebook group them. You could mail a video device to them.
And what else could you do?
Email.
You could. Okay. Actually, I'm going to swap these two. Without ever calling them at all, I could do any of those 5 things. Why did I put them in that order?
Effectiveness. More effective.
Why are they the most effective in that order?
More personal.
You're involved. Okay? The less you're involved, the less effective it's going to be. So Joe, you could send me something in the mail, and I know you might like that because there wasn't much at risk for you, like your heart rate didn't move, right? Like, this is why they love putting together bulk mailings. I'm going to send out a lot of just listed cards. I love these. They're awesome. Why? Doesn't move my heart rate one little bit. Nothing was on the line with me. It was just a mailing that went out there. I didn't have to risk any form of rejection or criticism. Right? Yeah, I know. I get it. It's way down here at the bottom of effectiveness. No, go knock on their door. Stand on their doorstep and talk to them. Oh, no, I'm not doing that. Yeah, I know. That's why we don't like doing this. There's too much me involved with doing it. I want to, stand. Well, isn't social media the same way? Yeah, pretty much is. But if you'll make a video and you're in the video, now there's a little bit more. Well, I don't like that. Yeah, I know. There's a inverse relationship between the more you don't like something and how good it is for your real estate business. They move like this. Oh, I don't mind sending out just listed, just sold cards. Yeah, I know. Nothing's going to happen. Well, one time somebody did call me off of those. Yeah, I know. That's not a strategy. Okay, anything could happen one time, but you can't duplicate it and repeat it. It's called high impact prospecting. The more high impact it is, which translate means you were involved. Okay, so we always like to tease Greg. Okay, so Greg, watch, I can prove it to you. Greg, who gets Greg's message on Fridays? Okay, so Greg, everybody's not getting your message. Do you send it to everybody?
Yes.
Okay, see? So people got it, but they don't know they got it. Why? I get a lot of shit. I get a lot of emails, right? I'm vaguely paying attention to some of them. That requires almost nothing of Greg. That does not require Greg's heart rate to increase. Greg, stop sending out the emails, make a video, embed the video in an email and send that out. Oh shit, you want to see somebody's heart rate get up there? You'll think Greg's doing sprint intervals, right? I mean, his heart rate will get up. He's going to feel really uncomfortable. Yeah, but what makes more of an impact on me? His text, email, which I get, I don't know, in when you're getting your mortgage license, they must teach this in the class. Everybody do this and do it on Fridays. They don't do it any other day, it seems like, just on Fridays. Well, does Greg's message get lost on Fridays when I'm getting 20 or 30 other lenders doing the same exact thing? But I'm playing with Greg today because he's such a good sport about it. But watch the level of bullshit that can go on inside our head. Greg might say to himself, yeah, but mine's better. Yeah, dude, we're not reading it. We wouldn't know whose is better or not. And by the way, the level of better that you're going to have to be to make an impact that's noticeable, like you better have some really earth-shattering stuff, like mind-blowing. Like I'm sitting at my computer on Friday mornings going, where is it? When's he going to send it? I haven't gotten it yet. Why not? I need this. Yeah, do it to that level. You can't. You can't put it out there. Oh, my just listed, just sold cards are awesome. Yeah, right. Right. You can't do something at that level that is awesome. It's crap. It's junk mail. It's spam. Why? I got 100 other people sending me the same stuff. So, is it better than doing nothing? Okay, it's better than doing nothing, but it's way down the effectiveness chart. Watch this.
Hello.
Hey, Casey, Mike Pruitt with Century 21.
How'd you know my name?
It's my job.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I was just in the area, thought I'd stop by, let you put a face to a name, introduce myself. I do have an appointment I have to run, but like if I can ever be of help to you, would you give me a call?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for stopping by.
Okay, great. You can't do that with an email. I can't send him something in the mail that's going to make the same impact. And I'll prove it to you. Watch this. In your opinion, how many, as a for sale by owner, how many other people have done that?
Hardly any.
So David, you do this every morning. Greg, you do this every morning, right? David, in your opinion, how many agents have stopped by and actually knocked on Casey's door and introduced themselves to him personally?
Not very many.
If you had to guess, Greg?
In the 7 years that I've lived in my complex that gets targeted for that kind of stuff, I've seen one real estate agent that walks around and actually does that. And that was for like 2 months out of 7 years.
Right. Why isn't anybody going to do it?
Time consuming and difficult.
Yeah, it is. Those are all real. It's time consuming and difficult. But that isn't really the reason why they're not going to do it. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. Nothing will make you more uncomfortable. That will make cold calling look easy. Get face to face with people. It's the most effective. Hey, what about expired listings? If you wanted to make an impact, if you wanted to contact expired listings and you weren't allowed to call them, like in Canada you can't call them, what would you do?
Same thing.
Good. You want to know what I did? Okay, don't do this. I'm not joking right now. Don't do this. The FBI will show up here. You can't do this anymore. But prior to 9/11, okay, I used to have a guy, just a young kid, run around and do deliveries for me. It wasn't expensive. I think I paid him like $8 a stop, right? So like if he made 10 stops, what did I pay, $80 that day? So he would stop and he would leave a package on the front doorstep from me for expired listings. And it was shaped like a bomb, like one of the Roadrunner cartoons. From the driveway, it looked like a bomb. But when you got up close, you could tell it wasn't really a bomb, okay? Don't do that now. That stopped at 9/11. You can't do that now, okay? That wouldn't be funny. But back then, it got reaction. And it just went something like, boom, your listing's expired, right? If you're still interested in selling a house and you want a unique marketing approach, call me. I'll make your house blow up, something like that, right? Did some people get mad? Yeah, some people got mad. Some people get mad about anything. You can't do anything with any substantial number of people where some whack job isn't going to get all bent out of shape, right? You can't live your life around that. Some people are going to get mad. Dennis had somebody getting mad, one person, for putting out American flags on 4th of July. Like, who gets mad about that? The lunatic fringe, Okay, every neighborhood, 10% are the lunatic fringe, and you're thinking right now about where you live, and there is 10% of the people where you live that are batshit crazy. I wouldn't live my life around them. Just shrug and move on. Yeah, I'd have packages on the front doorstep. Look like a bomb. Why? It was different. It was different. Calling them, I don't know. They're called by 40 or 50 agents the first morning. Not very. Even highly effective activities get drowned out when everybody does it. Make sense? Geographic farming. Shelley, in your neighborhood, you are not allowed to call anybody. What could you do?
Events, face-to-face.
Events, face-to-face, right? That'd be great. Could you have a monthly mailing?
Yep.
What would that be?
Hyperlocal,
Like what?
like my newsletter.
A newsletter. Right, you could. Could you have an email campaign?
Yep.
What would that look like?
Video, trying to establish credibility or share knowledge about community ongoings.
Right. What, about 1,000 homes? How many of those do you get every week?
All of them.
No, I mean, how many real estate agents send out an email with an embedded video in it?
None.
None?
I have no competition right now.
How many newsletters do you get each month from another real estate agent?
None. I get an occasional postcard and plastic cup attached to my mailbox with a piece of tape.
You don't ever get a newsletter. You don't ever get an email with an embedded video. No. Free, and she never gets it. How about where you live? Who's doing that? Greg, you live in the middle of a really big neighborhood. Nice homes, right? Like if I was to get one listing in your neighborhood, I'd feel pretty good about that. That's going to sell because that's an attractive neighborhood and it's pretty decent sales prices. Fair? How many of that do you get? You get an email from an agent that has an embedded video in it?
No.
Ever?
There are 3 agents who send emails, but none of them are embedded pages.
But they're just like texty video or emails, like written content?
Emails that are general in nature about the subdivision, whatever's going on, and it simply duplicates what they put in the monthly newsletter.
Hey, you want to have some fun? Let's have some fun at Greg's expense. So, what do you think when you get those?
I chuckle because I always look at it and I'm saying to myself, what goes on in these meetings is, okay, Kathy's very effective. Kathy does get quite a bit of business out of the subdivision. Heidi gets probably the next, and Roz doesn't get as much anymore as she used to. And I'm looking at it thinking, okay, now, what do I need to do to get the business? Kathy, I get all her business. Heidi, I don't get any of her business, even though her husband Don's a golf friend of mine. And Roz, she's too old to send me business. So I'm trying to find my way to get business. But
And then Friday morning, you'll turn around and send out the same thing that they sent to you.
Well, not the same.
You could make it much more personal, much more different, much more unique, right? But it does require putting us on the line. Shelley, is there an appropriate use of texting that you can think of in your neighborhood? Like what?
Like this morning, I'm texting people to remind them of a neighborhood event coming up Friday evening.
Right. So let me ask the room a question. What if Shelley was doing all 5 things, said, I never want to cold call my neighbors. I never, they're my neighbors. Like, that's weird. Hi, I'm Shelley Davis with Century 21. And don't you live next door to me? Yes, but I'm Shelley the realtor right now, so I'm calling you, and that's just weird, right? People don't talk to each other, which I thought was such a great idea.
I can't take credit for the idea.
No, take credit for it. Nobody in here knows the difference.
It's an adult swim party Friday night from 9 to 11, and I'm one of the sponsors.
Adult swim party.
Yeah.
This is just going, we're going to have Saturday morning, they're going to be great. When is it?
What now?
When is it?
Friday from 9 to 11.
Oh, call me Saturday morning, please. I want to hear all the good stuff.
Speaker only, so
Yes.
show up, you have to be in.
Carl, good idea. Good idea. Steal it.
Well, don't do that. It's already bad enough, that would just-
Branded Century 21 Connect speed app.
I could pair with a divorce attorney then.
Right.
There you go. What if Shelley did all 5 things and said, I never want to cold call people? Could she be really effective? What about friends, family, sphere of influence, people you know? What would be, and if never call them, because that's like weird, right? Like Rob, if we're friends and I call you and I go, hey Rob, it's Mike over at Century 21. How are you today? And some of you think that's funny, and I hear you on the phone. That's exactly what you sound like. You sound like a game show host. Cut it out. Talk to people like they're real people. You wouldn't talk to your friends like that. But Rob, if you're my friend, or I know you, or we're in the same thing together, how could I reach out to you in an appropriate way?
Stop by to say hi and, and maybe share some information regarding the market.
Yeah, I mean, you live all over God's green earth. I mean, so what's a way that I could stay connected to you and you wouldn't be offended or think I'm a weirdo?
Post something on social media regarding the market as a whole.
What if I took my friends and family and my sphere, right, and I put them in a group and ran an ad at them on Facebook? Well, I don't want to be salesy with my sphere. Then an ad doesn't have to be salesy. What could a non-salesy ad look like? Does anybody ever run a non-salesy ad, an ad that's not an ad?
It can look like anything, honestly. It's just knowing your audience enough to know how to target them. Like if I was going to target Rob, I'd target this. This is only something that I know just from talking to you. I'd target Star Wars.
Okay, I target people who go to the beach a lot. Shelley?
Slammed into me.
So well, don't sit right there. Did you have something that you want to?
No, you said who has done one.
Well, what's a non-salesy ad? What's that look like?
Amy Sam was one.
You're right. You sang, right? What did you? Was it Christmas time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our silly little song.
Okay. So isn't that silly? Like, what does sitting and singing Christmas carols have anything to do with selling houses?
The fact that there's a real estate agent that's singing those carols.
It doesn't have anything to do with selling houses, and that's the whole point with sphere of influence.
Makes her likable.
You're just staying top of mind. You're just staying in front of them with telling them that you're the best real estate agent in Atlanta and they should call you if you want to buy or sell homes. Oh God, please don't do that. That's so bad. So on the evolution of bad, that's the worst, right? Call me if you want to buy or sell a home. And that's usually accompanied with static content and a picture usually of a house, right? Like, I just want to pull my hair out when I hear this. It's so bad. But I know why it's being done, because we hired one of these third-party social media companies to post for you. Stop it. Fire them today. That crap doesn't work, and I don't want to hear your one-off story about how it did work 2 years ago and you're going to keep doing it because it worked one time. Joe, is this a band camp story? Are you going to tell me about the one time it worked for you? Oh, okay, good.
Ask your opinion, suggestions on if you're advertising a specific property not to your sphere. what would be some good ideas on that?
Well, I have more fun with the bad ideas. So let's start there, because they're more fun to make fun of. Okay, so if I'm talking about you, then good, don't raise your hand, but cut this crap out. It's so boring, it's horrible. The picture of the front exterior of the house, and take a look at my new 4-bedroom, 3-bath listing in Roswell. Really? Like, did you spend a lot of time? Yes, that's as creative as I could get. It's what everybody does, and it's just horrible. What if this? Well, I don't know what else to do. When you want to, you will. When you want to, you'll come in and say, I want to promote this new listing of mine. What could I do? I'd say, I don't know. Why don't you get the owners to sit on the front steps and talk about why they love living in this house so much? Well, they haven't loved living in this house. Well, then tell them to lie. Okay? Make something up. What if you showed the dogs playing in the fenced backyard, or the kids playing back there, or you put some people in it? I just want to do the Adult Swim thing on Friday night. Okay, good luck with that. Because you may or may not make a good impact with the people that show up. So 1,000 homes in your neighborhood, let's just say there's 2 adults per house, 2,000 adults. What if 2,000 people show up Friday night?
I will not get to talk to all of them, I'm confident.
Will 2,000 people show up Friday night? No, only some of them are going to show up. So you're only going to be able to make an impact with those that are there. So, well, should she not do that? No, you should absolutely do that. And you should have a newsletter. Well, everybody's not going to read her newsletter. Everybody's not going to do anything. I don't know what percentage, but let's just say half, just throw it in the trash can. Okay, that's fine. What else? Well, every week she has an email that goes out that's a video message from her. Hey, everybody, don't forget we're having an adult swim party this Friday night at the pool. Hope to see you there. What's salesy about that? Nothing. She's Shelley with Century 21. What the hell do people think she does for a living? Right. You don't have to speak to it. Could she have a text campaign? Yeah, you could get slide dial and you could text everybody Friday afternoon. Hey, don't forget the adult swim party starts at 7 o'clock tonight. You could. What if you did it all? You never cold called anybody, but you did all these other things. Would Shelley be marketing herself robustly in that neighborhood? Are you marketing yourself robustly right now with your peeps? Well, I do this. That's great. Greg, I love your Friday emails. Mostly I just like you. So if you sent me anything, I would probably look at it, right? You'd have to teach me that it's really, really bad before I'd stop looking at it. But I look at it because it's you. How many people in your group of peeps are going to stop and look at something like that just because you sent it to them? Shelley, in your neighborhood, how many people would that be? That no matter what you sent out to them, something, let's see what this is. Like, how many people could that be?
It could be a lot more than it is.
But no, realistically, how many people would that be right now today? That no matter what you sent them, they would eagerly look at it.
Somewhere probably between 100 and 200.
Right. 10%? Maybe 20. What about the other 80 to 90%? All the different touch points together. You don't want to call? Don't call. Well, I need to call for sale by owners. I don't think you do. I'd be hitting the other 5 points though. I don't like to do something. I don't want to do it. It makes me feel too uncomfortable. That's fine. But what do you do? And how many of them are you incorporating together right now in your business with your group of peeps every day? And for the folks that are like hitting the FSBOs and expireds, that's great. But here's my guess. You're just calling them. You're just calling them. And if they don't answer today, you're just going to call them tomorrow. and you're not hitting on the other touch points. So David, let's just finish. It's more fun to tease than Greg is David, okay? Because they're such good sports about it. So David, you spend time every morning using the phone, right? How many days a week?
5, sometimes 6.
Okay, great. About how much time?
2 to 4 hours a day.
Is that good? It's good for him. I don't want to do that. That sucks for me. And Andy, I know you're doing the same thing, but just picking on David, he's more fun. You'll actually internalize it. He won't. So the people that you've spoken to this morning, the odds that they're going to get an email from you with an embedded video message in it?
If I haven't spoken to them, but I have no plans of sending them one at this moment.
Okay, but if you did speak with them this morning?
I would generally send them a follow-up email, but not a video embedded.
Right, I know. It didn't take as much from you. Your heart rate didn't go up. What are the odds that you're going to reach out to them and connect with them on social media?
50-50.
50-50?
If I'm consistent enough, I'll do a check it. If not, I'll get to everybody.
And the odds that you're going to put them into a targeted group and run an ad at them that's a video ad?
Probably not.
Probably not. Why not? It's too expensive?
It's just more things to do. It's work.
Call less. Do that more. And I'm going to finish with this. This is the point. Miss this and you miss the whole conversation. Okay? It's not any one thing that you do. It would be great if it was. I get it. I mean, what is that thing? What is that one thing I do? And I do that one thing every day and I get results. That'd just be so awesome. It's not. It's not one thing. It's 4 or 5 things working together, so that you create this impression on people of everywhere you go, there I am. Yasleen, you turn on your computer, I'm there. You go to your mailbox, I'm there. Pick up your phone, it's me. Mike, are you stalking me? Hell yes, I'm stalking you. I am stalking you. I want your business. Everywhere you go, that's where I'm going to be. And that's where it's at. If it was just one thing, you don't want it to be. David, you don't want it to be that you call and they answer at a high percentage rate and they do want you to come talk to them and meet with them. You don't want it to be that way. If it was that easy, everybody would be doing it. The fact that it's hard is why so few people will do it. Greg, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you on the videos. The fact that it's hard, the fact that Greg feels uncomfortable with it, the fact that it takes a little technology skill, all this stuff is the reason why it'll work. Because nobody else will do it. And if you can be the one person that'll do it when nobody else will be, you win. That's how it works. Make sense? Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's go make it happen then.